Just like you have the ability to trim sketch segments using the Trim Sketch tool, you can also trim surfaces using the Trim Surface feature. Surfaces are trimmed using a trim tool. This can be a plane, another surface, or a sketch. Take a look at this part. I have two surface bodies that intersect along an edge. What I'd like to do is trim the curved surface so it does not extend beyond the planar surface. To do this, use the Trim Surface feature from the Surfaces toolbar. In this case, we'll use this standard trim type, and the trim tool will be the planar face. Next, I'll select the portion of the surface I wish to keep. Using this option, you can specify whether the selection you make should be kept or removed. You'll typically choose whichever makes selecting easier. In this case, either option would work just as easily. Next, I'll select the portion of the curved surface that I wish to keep. We'll take a look at the splitting options at the bottom a bit later. For now, I'll click OK and the Trim Surface feature is complete. Notice that after the Trim feature is added, I still have two surface bodies. If I wanted them to become a single body, I would still have to add a knit feature. Next, I'd like to trim the curved surface again, this time using a sketch that I already created. Again, I'll use the Trim Surfaces tool. It will be a standard trim using the sketch as the trim tool and keeping the center portion of the surface. I'll click OK, and there you have the result. The Trim feature allows the use of a trim tool that doesn't extend completely across a surface. For instance, take a look at this part. I have two surfaces. If I roll back, you can see that one trim feature was already used to trim the vertical surface with a larger horizontal surface. The results here were easy to predict. Since the large surface extends entirely through the vertical surface, when I trim, everything on one side, the bottom in this case, is trimmed away. Let me add another trim feature. This time, the trim tool will be the vertical surface, and the surface to be trimmed will be the larger horizontal surface. Somehow, SolidWorks has to determine how the large surface will be segmented so it can be trimmed. This is easy to do along the intersection between the two surfaces. The split will occur exactly along the intersection. But from there to the edge of the large surface, you must tell SolidWorks how the surface should be segmented. You do this using the surface split options at the bottom of the Property Manager. If you use the natural setting, the split will occur following a natural extension of the trim tool. You can see a preview in the graphics area. If you use the linear option, the split will be a straight line to the nearest edge of the larger surface. And if you use the Split All option, either with the natural or linear settings, you'll see multiple split options available. Of course, these splits will not automatically affect the outcome of the split feature. It's still up to you to decide what portions you wish to keep or remove.